Okay.
You're all over the internet.
What's the definition of freedom? What does it look like?
Okay, true freedom is not anarchy.
Absolutely it is.
No, it is not. Well, okay, let me rephrase that. True freedom is not the socially recognized definition of anarchy, which is we can kill everything and shoot and do whatever the fuck we want.
Yeah,
no,
those are morons.
That's not anarchy.
No, that's not. That's a
No. And the people who are anarchists
Anarchy-
don't actually understand anarchy.
no.
most of the
Anarchy
time.
is no rulers, not no rules. Being a moral person, hell, my
And there we go, and you hit it just then.
Yeah, my life
That's
is-
freedom is living. I mean, freedom in its freaking simplest essence is living a moral life, understanding that your actions freaking have consequences,
yeah,
and
universally.
being able to take responsibility for your life,
That's right. And
your
what-
consequences.
And so when you say, well, they buy into this construct of, religion or politics or
And see, that's the thing. To them, that is what makes them free.
Well,
because
it frees them from actually having to take responsibility for themselves and their power back. They give their power away.
and you've made my point.
Well, yeah, but that's not freedom.
It is to them because it's what they recognize as freedom. It is their perceived freedom. It
But
is
they're-
their perceived freedom.
But
Freedom
they're-
to me is being able to collect my own freaking rainwater. Freedom to me is being able to freaking grow a garden like you have over here. On my front fucking lawn if I want to. Freedom to me is being like, oh, hey, I want to go somewhere. So I pack up my freaking car and I'm free to go there. And so in this socially constructed fallacy, everyone thinks they're free because they're still free to move. They're still free to roam.
And that's why I
They're free
always
to
tell them
think what they want to fucking think.
That's why every time I
The problem being is when you're told what to think so fucking much, trying to break those bonds is uncomfortable. Trying to wean yourself into
life
true
is
freedom.
uncomfortable. Hell, a moral life is uncomfortable because you have to make those decisions every single day. If I do this, what are the consequences? Not just for others, but for myself.
Yes, that is the problem with a moral life.
But no, it's not a problem.
No,
the thing is that
that is the problem that other people find with a moral life.
well, yeah, because they're soft and they're scared, and I understand.
I
that.
have no problem doing what's right because it's right. I don't fucking take pictures of it and throw it on. Oh, look at me feeding the freaking poor.
Yeah, well,
you do what you do because
that's because that is look at me mentality that we've got going on because of this shit right here. And this, and look at me and look how good I am. Look how moral I am with not ever realizing
that's
that.
What I'm saying, though. What I'm saying is,
but their perceived
perceived
that
freedom.
perceived freedom is a fallacy.
It is, but it's their safety net.
Well, yeah, but you know what? Okay, so look at what's going on right now. How safe do they fucking feel?
See, that's the problem. They feel safe in their ideals.
Yeah, but that's not
because
true
they
safety.
feel like they're morally right. They feel like they're
they
morally
can't even
free.
they can't even think that they're even close to being morally right because they don't even know what the hell
Obviously,
that means.
they do think
No.
that because they're out there doing it.
No,
They're doing it in the name of morality and freedom.
No.
And they don't realize
They don't
what they're
understand
doing
what the
is
hell that
attempting to
is.
gird the freaking loins even tighter.
They don't even know what that is.
I agree with you. They don't know what that is. But we're talking about perception here.
Yeah.
We're not talking about
And-
reality because in reality, even us, when we started that freedom
journey?
of thought,
Oh,
that
God.
shit fucking hurt.
No, fuck.
It still can cause discomfort.
Dude, my life since I started this path is exceedingly more difficult than when I said, well, I don't have to think about it. I'm just, I'll just go through my day and
big
blah,
dumb
blah,
animal,
blah.
let's-
And then karma smacks me in my face and I'm like, I don't even know where'd that come from? I don't get it.
The point being, though, is the karma smacked you hard enough to fucking wake up. It did me, too. It did those people who are,
Well,
quote-unquote, woke.
Oh God! You know what? Every time
Yeah.
I hear some fucking jackass say that, I'm just like, you don't. And it almost well, it irritates me a little bit more than the other people that say, "Well, I'm awake." I'm like, I'm waking up. I would never say that I'm awake, and I would never say that I'm woke because those types, I don't even get what they're even talking about. But you know, it's a process that I'm going through every fucking day, and it's
Well, and then see, that's the other thing about freedom. It's a process. It's not. It's
yeah.
not
But the
a
thing is that
destination.
yeah. But
It's
the
a
thing
journey.
is that if they don't ever start, then their perception of freedom is going to continue to keep them a slave.
Exactly, which is where most people are comfortable.
I don't even comprehend that.
Hey man, I don't fucking comprehend it either, and I was one of them. So were you.
Well, yeah, but
But the awakening process, the process of
once
even
you
just
see,
once you
how
see,
the hell do they not see? There's so many things that are going on right now. There's so many different avenues that you can actually look at and go, wow, I'm really kind of fucked this life up already. Let's see if I can't fix it. There's so many
Dude.
avenues at this point. I don't know how people can still be going.
it is
Well, everything's
indoctrination. It is, dude, nature, nurture.
I don't
You
get
want
it.
to get right fucking down to
Yeah,
it.
but the
Nature,
thing is,
nurture,
even-
formative years.
Well,
as,
yeah. Well, who
you
was
know-
that? Megla.
But anyway, during the formative
he
years,
said that
if you're
if you give me
freaking,
a child, I'll make him into anything you want. You want a doctor, I'll make him into a doctor.
Oh,
you
yeah.
want a murderer, I'll make him into a murderer. You can make him anything you want.
the problem being is that people, in their freedom, have not been taking this freedom and shaping, and that's
A
even
moral
the,
life.
no, that's even the wrong word because you don't.
It's
Shaping
shaped-
makes
it's
it
shaped
feel
by,
like
no. It's shaped by what you do. It is. My life is shaped by my life.
your
is shaped
life
by,
now is shaped by what you do. But let's say we've got a child here,
It would
this
be
child
shaped
is
by
like-
what I do.
shaped by perception.
Well, yeah, but if I
So
don't,
you've got all these people out here that were given fucking, they had the freedom to earn a fucking trophy.
no,
And
they didn't.
hold on, calm down.
They didn't earn the
Calm
trophy.
down. They had a freedom to earn a trophy, but let's give one to everybody because the people with the trophy over here are going yay, and the people over here that don't have one are going, oh, we have a trophy. It's not fair. Fuck, let's make it fucking fair.
Well, and that is 90% of our problem right now is because everybody thinks that life is supposed to be fair, and it is if you actually work at your life and actually try to be a moral individual. It is fair. It is fair because because the energy that you put out is the energy you get back.
See, and in my mind, life isn't fair.
Well, that's because you're
But
an
it's
idiot.
not
You
supposed to
fucking
fucking
tried
be.
to kill your thumb.
No, I did kill my thumb. Well, I killed half of it.
But what I'm
Anyway,
saying-
I mean, it's
but what
not
I'm
supposed
saying
to
is-
be fucking fair,
well-
but it can be rewarding.
Oh,
Your
God, if
freedom can reward you.
I-
Your actions reward you. The problem being is the
Yeah, well, that's a fair life. If your actions
yeah.
reward you, if you do positive things with your actions and it's rewarding, even if it's not monetarily, you're still being rewarded. That's a fair life. That's a fair exchange.
Yeah.
Good energy out gets good energy back. And one of the reasons why we're in this fucking situation now is because people don't understand. The energies you put into things, positive or negative, it's just energy. It's how you use it. If you use it for bad, guess what? Bad's gonna happen. If you use it for good, guess what? Good's gonna happen. It's just energy. It's not bad energy. It's not good energy. It's just energy. It's like those jackasses last year. Maybe it was earlier this year. You know, they're like, we're gonna have a mass meditation for positive change. And then there was a subgroup that said, oh, the bad guys are gonna hijack it. And I'm like, you people are supposed to be awakened individuals. How do you not understand that that's not going to get hijacked? Because the people that are doing it are putting positive energy into it. They're using it in a positive way. It's just energy. Energy is energy. How can they hijack it if they're putting positive energy into something? They can't. But they, and I just...
Yeah, man, it's the destructive mindset. But
Well-
it's also the freaking their freedom to do so.
I
Dude,
get it.
that's why I'm saying, man.
I-
freedom is literally it's subjective. It's self-subjective.
Well, okay.
You've got the socially recognized
Two- there-
freedom, and then you've got the subjective personal freedom.
Well,
Most people who believe they're free because they've been grown. They've grown being
that
told that
doesn't
they're
mean
free.
it's right.
Did I
That-
ever say that it was?
Well, I just want to put that out there.
Yeah,
That
okay.
Just
I
because
never
their
said that it was
perception
right.
of freedom is actually a cage does not
Does
mean
not,
it's correct.
No, yeah, it is
Okay.
not correct.
Just
It
want
is
to
not
say that
correct.
because
No,
there's a lot of people out there that so want to be free, but yet they still, well, you know, Trump's going to do this, or you know, Biden's going to do this, and or you know, the cops are good or the cops are bad, and it's like you're still giving your energy into that friggin' slave mentality that you think that, well, if I put my energy into it, then it's going to be a positive thing. No. Those are set up to be a slave system. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, and I'm the first one to admit, if we lived under a moral governing body, which I don't even know if that would even possibly exist, but let's say that it did, and even better, has our government ever done anything morally correct?
Well,
Morally correct.
Kennedy started to, even though he was screwing Marilyn Monroe.
So no.
but then he got assassinated for it.
So no. So organized government never does anything morally correct.
Well, that's because it's not controlled by the people
Well,
that it's supposed to be controlled by. They are not beholden to the people.
no, because the system itself is not capable of being. Morality comes from you and me. The system will never be moral.
Okay, hold up then. Let me pose this question to you. As far as we're back to the freedom thing and morality and we all being intertwined,
Okay.
do humans, as a society, have the capability of being a moral fucking society?
Sure. It'd take about 2 generations.
You think so?
Yeah. Once there was enough people that were moral, that actually had morality and actually thought about others and thought about the planet in an ethical and a moral way, 2 generations.
You're more optimistic. than
No,
me.
think about this. Okay, so let's say we started with our generation, right? So
Well, we've already fucked that up. I mean, we're sitting here talking and
well, no, not necessarily. I mean, let's just say our generation.
sorry for the F word.
Yeah. Let's just say our generation. So if our generation started, if there was a mass awakening, which let's just say,
Okay.
hypothetically, so then we would teach our children, right? And we'd fuck it up because we are still trying to figure it out. Okay? But we instill enough of that morality, enough of thinking about others, and enough of thinking about the planet in a positive way, and all right?
Yeah, no.
all right. No.
I'm interested because my rebuttal is gonna freaking.
Okay.
But go ahead. Now continue.
Now think of this. Now, that generation, our kids' generation, they have kids. Now they're way far beyond us because we brought them up thinking that way, right? So then they have kids. They're going to be leaps and bounds beyond us in how they think about the world around them and how they utilize the resources in a positive way and how they interact with people in a positive way. Then they teach their kids 2 generations, because those kids, the only way it wouldn't work, and I don't even think it could if it was done correctly. I don't even think it wouldn't work, because they would be where we are striving for. They would be there.
Yeah, their baseline would be what we're striving for.
Yeah.
That would be their baseline, and then go up from there.
But you
Then
have to.
why have we digressed as
Oh, I
a
think-
fucking species
Well, I think
so rapidly
Well,
in the past 100 years?
Yeah, man, guess what? 2
Two
generations.
generations. Why have we digressed so
Well,
rapidly?
because
What,
we've
your
allowed
parents,
them.
your parents,
Yeah. I
and
know.
my parents,
Yeah.
brought us up to be relatively good human beings.
Yeah.
I
But
think the problem is that we didn't have any kids.
well,
I'm kidding. But
No.
what I'm saying is the digression.
could you imagine if we had kids?
I want kids.
Demon spawn.
That's not the point.
I don't think this planet's ready for kids, for those kids.
That may be the catalyst that brings
Well-
about change.
So you're talking that you're gonna have Christ child? It's the second coming?
Oh no, because the second coming now is the freaking Antichrist. So that might
You know
already
what?
be
That
my.
Yeah, I got
anyway.
it. That's yet another control mechanism in a society that has enough already.
But yeah, again, our digression
it took two
has been
generations.
fucking rapid.
Yeah.
Absolutely rapid.
So
Here's the thing,
to turn it
though.
around.
Look at society from the beginning. Let's go biblically, just because that's the easiest
Sure, okay.
historical quote-unquote
Well,
document,
it's
you
the,
know.
it's the two that it's the one that we know the best anyway, because
Yeah.
we were indoctrinated into it.
Yes. And so you look at it biblically, and you know, great freaking civilizations arise. Look at it historically. Great civilizations arise, you know, and everything's wonderful and great, and then, bam, they fuck it up.
Yeah.
So do we as humans have the fucking capacity? Yes, we can change things in 2 generations, but 2 generations further on, is it going to be back here where it is?
Well,
Are we ever going to be able to realize the freedom that we so desperately freaking want?
one of the reasons why we continue to go through this cycle is because of religion and politics. Every single one of those all had those constructs in them, whether it was Christianity or whatever. The ones that didn't, the pagan religions, they lasted for a very long time. Fiefdoms or little tribal communities that grew up with a pagan type of environment lasted for a long time. Now, granted, they didn't do the conquer, you know, the world type of empires or
And
the
so
technologically.
there are societies within the freaking entire construct that may be able to achieve that, but humanity as a whole,
Well,
we're inherently stupid
well,
as a species
no.
because we think we're the top species.
Well, and that is because of religion.
It's not just because of
No,
religion.
that is because
you,
religion. No, because look
you
at the
take-
Native Americans that were here before we got here. They had a religion, but it wasn't even close. They
had their gods, they had
yeah,
their
but
things they
the
believed in, they had their
the Bible.
they had their methods of control.
Yeah, but the
Just like we
Bible.
do.
Yeah, but see the difference between that. I mean, don't get me wrong. They probably had their shit. We just didn't know it because the West not too fucking quick. But the
Well,
Bible,
you're white, so it's your fault.
Huh, fuck yeah, I guess.
Yeah, me too. I'm
Anyway,
screwed. I'm whiter than you.
yes, you are. But the thing is that, you know, there's this little fucking line in the Bible. Right at the beginning. Man will dominate the earth. Or man has dominion.
Dominion.
Man
over
has
here.
dominion over the earth. I'm almost positive that was changed. Because I'm pretty sure it probably said something more similar to they're stewards of the planet, which a steward actually enhances.
I mean, well, a steward doesn't have dominion.
That's right.
Yeah.
That one little thing, even if it's subconscious, that one little thing right there is the reason why we have a planet in degradation that we do now. Because that puts this ego mentality in, and they go, well, I can just do whatever the hell I want because I'm dominating
Bringing it back to freedom. I can just do whatever the hell I want.
Yeah, but
Which,
see, yeah, except for when you start
Freedom
thinking
isn't the ability
rationally
to do whatever
and
you
logically. No, it's not. It's a choice. But until they have that, until they maybe presented with a choice, because a lot of people probably have no idea. They don't even think about it. They're like, well, I don't know. I go and I eat meat and I farm the way because that's what my dad did. And that's what somebody else did. And blah 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 blah. And they never even think about. Wait a second.
no, see, that's the
This
thing.
is-
People don't think why.
Yeah.
We talked about that earlier. Why? Why it
People
bounces off their
don't-
head?
People don't think, because at least when we were going to school was still kind of teaching us how to think, not what to think. Now, man, I talk to kids, they have no idea how to think. They have no clue how to
No.
think, and when
Well,
you
and
present
that's-
them with a question they have no answer for, they get a little pissed off. Kind of like what we're seeing now. They go break shit because they don't have the capacity, because they were never taught how to rationalize or reason through anything. They're stuck. They're like, I feel bad for them. I actually do. I'm sad for them because they don't have the capacity to actually do
I'm
that.
sad for them, and I'm sad for us because of what may come
Well,
of this.
yeah,
Scares the shit out of me. Anyway, back to fucking freedom.
freedom
Back to freedom. What is freedom then?
for me.
What is in that simple question? You proved my point.
As
Perception
far as it's okay,
for me, but no, not for
What-
you.
okay,
What is
for-
your definition? Your understanding of freedom?
freedom would be the ability to decide for myself what is and what isn't good.
There you go.
And granted, yeah,
Perception
but
in that
at
in
the
that
same
free will.
sure,
and
but at
that
the same time,
perception.
there's a universal code. There's a universal law. You've seen it. You've seen little
yeah.
kids. You've seen little kids. They understand the difference between right and wrong. You've seen it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, and this is little. They'll test it. You know, and it takes very little to go, no. That's
It does. It takes very
apparently it
little to
was
correct them.
really, really difficult for whoever spawned the shitheads that are fucking breaking shit all over the place. Apparently it was really difficult for them because they
You know
didn't
how many
go.
youth facilities I've worked in, and I worked with freaking kids.
I know,
and-
she says the same thing.
Oh yeah, and literally, I've got a very good friend who works at one, and the first year that he was there, he told me something that was absolutely brilliant that I never freaking thought to tell the kids that I worked with. But one of the youth came up to him and was being a ridiculous kid. Yeah, I had to.
Yeah, I know. I saw
Woo.
that.
Anyway, he's like, let me tell you something you've probably never heard before.
No.
No, exactly.
Uh-huh.
No, and that's the thing. We don't live in a society that teaches anymore. We don't live in one that teaches how to think anymore. And no is an illegal word.
And you know what's awesome? Is we're in a perfect time now. Right now. We could totally revamp everything. Because everything is so broken at this point. Why in the hell would we ever try to put it back? It's like Humpty Dumpty fell
Because
off.
it's the same thing. It is the same thing.
Well,
Same cycle. Because
That's-
people using their free will and their freedom and all these other things that we've been talking about are doing it to say Trump's right, Biden's right. No,
we're in a
You're not-
perfect.
you're
perfect.
not seeing the reality of the fact that this system is broken, and these are two fangs in the same snake.
It's
They're
always
both
been
poison.
broken. It's always
They're
been
both
broken.
poison, but the problem being changing that looks too much to a lot of people like socialism or communism or things that the
Again,
isms that everybody
construct.
freaks out about.
Again, construct. If they did the mental exercises and just sat calmly
That's
and thought,
uncomfortable. That's uncomfortable.
but then they would come to the realization you don't need that kind of stuff. You don't need to give your power away to somebody else. You don't need to give your power away. You can take that power and you can actually do something positive with it. Yes, granted. Takes a little bit of fucking work. You know what? What else
It
do you
hurts.
have to do right now?
Ripping off the Band-Aid hurts.
These people months ago when they're like, I'm bored, I'm like, you're a fucking moron. You're the same people that say, I hate my job.
I'm bored, and yet at my fingertips,
Yeah.
I have access.
Library of Alexandria.
to all the
the-
knowledge that I could care to
Man,
possess.
it's unbelievable. And they'll play fucking Angry Birds, or they'll fucking say, I'm bored. And it's like, you don't understand. For one thing, they don't understand that for the past, 8 months, they've had an opportunity that nobody, we didn't have it when we were younger. These people have an opportunity to really figure shit out. And some of them are. I'm sure that there's
A
actually
minority, but there are some.
I'm sure that there's probably a lot more than we think that are finally going, you know what? You know that crazy bastard that I met the other day that was talking about, did you know that there was 3 buildings that fell down in New York? I'm going to look that up because I just thought there were 2.
No, it's 3.
You know, and that's the thing. It's like we have the perfect opportunity as a humanity right now. You know, before it gets complete. I mean, because the window's closing rapidly, but we've had multitudes of months of the ability to actually start to glean knowledge. And yeah, it's a pain in the ass. You gotta search, you gotta look, because some of it's just
How was
bullshit.
that a freaking pain in the ass? I grew up reading
Oh.
freaking encyclopedias to try and find a little bit of information.
Don't get me wrong. Believe me, I know it. But you have to just you can't just punch in something in Google and just read the first one. Typically, it's Wikipedia, and you come to me with, oh, I learned it from Wikipedia. I'm gonna spank your little butt, take you on your way. You know. But we have a perfect opportunity. We have a perfect opportunity, and we still do for a little bit. And I just
Well, that's the thing. I mean, freedom. It's easier to use my freedom
that's not freedom though. They need to
to
call
play
it
Angry
something.
Birds.
They need to call it something else. They need to call it something else because it's not freedom.
It's free will.
And you
It's
know
free
what?
will.
I'm not gonna. It's just like I just went to Salem.
I'm sorry.
No, I just yeah.
I just drove through Portland. It's
Yeah.
fucking horrible.
I know, but I just went and there was this little stand of trees out in this field. Been there as far as I can remember. And I drove by and I looked over and I was like, what the fuck, out loud, all by myself in the car, because they knocked them all down. I'm like, they got maybe a half an acre more space, but there's all big giant trees. It's a little jungly area in the middle of their field. And instantly, I was pissed. And then I was like, not my land. It's his land. You can do whatever you want with it.
He's free to do whatever he
He's
wants.
free to do whatever he wants with it. I wouldn't have done that. I'd make all